What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? I just wanted to share some words, some words of encouragement, right? I've been reading this book, The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. And it's a pretty badass book. It has some really good insight, right? And a lot of a lot of a lot of it comes from the Bible, right? Christianity, or from the Bible. And I just wanted to share, I guess, a few things that I'm like, damn, this is a fucking badass, right? So it's Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking. I'm just going to share a few lines from the book and that I think are good, right? I mean, I'm barely like 2 chapters into the book, but it's a pretty amazing book. The first one, have faith in your abilities, right? Believe in yourself. It says, this is a scripture from the Bible. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthen me. This is Philippians 4:13. According to your faith, be it unto you. Matthew 9:29. That's, for me, I interpret that as the sky's the limit, right? The sky's the limit. There are no limits. But whatever it is you believe, big or small, that's pretty much what determines your reality, right? And another one, if ye have faith, nothing shall be impossible unto you. Matthew 17:20. If God be for us, who can be against us? Romans 8:31. Attitudes are more important than facts. It says right here, I'm going to read a little bit of this little paragraph real quick. Attitudes are more important than facts. That is worth repeating until the truth grips you. Any fact facing us, however difficult, even seemingly hopeless, is not so important as our attitude toward that fact. How you think about a fact may defeat you before you ever do anything about it. You may permit a fact to overwhelm you mentally before you start to deal with it actually. On the other hand, a confident and optimistic thought pattern can modify or overcome the fact altogether. And then this is like a little affirmation that you could use or say to yourself on a daily. God is with me, God is helping me, God is guiding me. Like right here, he says, spend several minutes each day visualizing his presence. Then practice believing that affirmation. Affirm it, visualize it, believe it, and it will actualize itself. The release of power which this procedure stimulates will astonish you. Be bold, and mighty forces will come to your aid. Over here it says, Emerson declared a tremendous truth. They conquer who believe they can. And he added, do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain. Okay. Okay. If God be for us, who can be against us? Romans 8:31. I can do all things through Christ which strengthen me. Philippians 4:13. Put yourself in God's hands. To do that, simply state, I am in God's hands. Then believe you are. Now receiving all the power you need, feel it flowing into you. Affirm that the kingdom of God is within you. Luke 17:21. In the form of adequate power to meet life's demands. Remind yourself that God is with you and nothing can defeat you. Believe that you now receive power from Him. Another one I'm going to read it real quick. As a physician said, many of my patients have nothing wrong with them except their thoughts. So I have a favorite prescription that I write for some. But it is not a prescription that you can fill at a drugstore. The prescription I write is a verse from the Bible. Romans 12:2. I do not write out that verse for my patients. I make them look it up, and it reads, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." And to be happier and healthier, they need renewing of their mind. That is, a change in the pattern of their thoughts. Let nothing disturb you. Let nothing frighten you. Everything passes away except God. God alone is sufficient. This one is the 23rd Psalm. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. And another one right here. Thomas Carlyle said, silence is the element in which great things fashion themselves. Okay. This one, man, I think I'm going to read these pages real quick. It's Chapter 3, How to Have Constant Energy. A Major League Baseball pitcher once pitched a game when the temperature was over 100 degrees. He lost several pounds as a result of the afternoon's exertion. At one stage of the game, his energy sagged. His method for restoring his ebbing strength was unique. He simply repeated a passage from the Old Testament. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Isaiah 40:31. Frank Hiller, the pitcher who had this experience, told me that reciting this verse on the pitcher's mound actually gave him a renewal of strength, so that he was able to complete the game with energy to spare. He explained the technique by saying, I passed the powerful energy-producing thought through my mind. How we think, we feel, has a definite effect on how we actually feel physically. If your mind tells you that you are tired, the body mechanism, the nerves, and the muscles accept the fact. If your mind is intensely interested, you can keep on at an activity indefinitely. Religion functions through our thoughts. In fact, it is a system of thought discipline. By supplying attitudes of faith to the mind, it can increase energy. It helps you to accomplish prodigious activity by suggesting that you have ample support and resources of power. A friend in Connecticut, an energetic man full of vitality and vigor, says that he goes to church regularly to get his batteries recharged. His concept is sound. God is the source of all energy. Energy in the universe, atomic energy, electrical energy, and spiritual energy. Indeed, every form of energy derives from the Creator. The Bible emphasizes this point when it says, He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, He increaseth strength. Isaiah 40:29. In another statement, the Bible describes the energizing and re-energizing process. In Him we live, that is, have vitality, and move, have dynamic energy, and have our being attain completeness. Acts 17:28. Contact with God establishes within us a flow of the same type of energy that recreates the world and renews springtime every year. When in spiritual contact with God through our thought processes, the divine energy flows through the personality, automatically renewing the original creative act. When contact with the divine energy is broken, the personality gradually becomes depleted in body, mind, and spirit. An electric clock connected to with an outlet does not run down and will continue indefinitely to keep accurate time. Unplug it and the clock stops. It has lost contact with the power flowing through the universe. In general, this process is operative in human experience, though in a less mechanical manner. A number of years ago, I attended a lecture at which the speaker asserted before a large audience that he had not been tired in 30 years. He explained that 30 years before he had passed through a spiritual experience in which by self-surrender he had made contact with divine power. From then on he possessed sufficient energy for all of his activities, and these were prodigious. He so obsessively illustrated his teachings that everyone in the vast audience was profoundly impressed. To me, it was a revelation of the fact that in our consciousness we can tap a reservoir of boundless power, as a result of which it is not necessary to suffer depletion of energy. For years, I have studied and experimented with the ideas which the speaker outlined and which others have expounded and demonstrated. And it is my conviction that the principles of Christianity, scientifically utilized, can develop an uninterrupted and continuous flow of energy into the human mind and body. These findings were corroborated by a prominent physician with whom I was discussing, a certain man whom we both know. This man, whose responsibilities are very heavy, works from morning until night without interruption, but always seems to be able to assume new obligations. He has the knack of handling his work easily and with efficiency. I commented to the physician that I hoped this man was not setting a dangerous pace that might possibly lead to a breakdown. The physician shook his head. "No," he replied. "As his physician, I do not think there is any danger of a crack-up. And the reason is that he is a thoroughly well-organized individual with no energy leaks in his makeup. He operates a well-regulated machine. He handles things with easy power and carries burdens without strain. He never wastes an ounce of energy, but every effort is applied with maximum force." "How do you account for this efficiency, this seemingly boundless energy?" I asked. The physician studied for a moment. "The answer is that he is a normal individual, emotionally well integrated, and what is more important, he is a soundly religious person. From his religion, he has learned how to avoid drainage of power. His religion is a workable and useful mechanism of preventing energy leaks. It is not hard work that drains off energy, but emotional upheaval. And this man is entirely free from that. Increasingly, people are realizing that the maintenance of a sound spiritual life is important in enjoying energy and personality force. The body is designed to produce all needed energy over an amazingly long period of time. If the individual takes reasonable care of his body, from the standpoint of proper diet, exercise, sleep, no physical abuse, the body will produce and maintain astonishing energy and sustain itself in good health. If he gives similar attention to a well-balanced emotional life, energy will be conserved. But if he allows energy leaks caused by hereditary or self-imposed emotional reaction of a debilitating nature, he will be lacking in vital force. The natural state of the individual when body, mind, and spirit work harmoniously is that of a continuous replacement of necessary energy. Mrs. Thomas A. Edison, with whom I often often discussed the habits and characteristics of her famous husband, the world's greatest inventive wizard, told me that it was Mr. Edison's custom to come into the house from his laboratory after many hours of labor and lie down on his old couch. She said he would fall asleep as naturally as a child, in perfect relaxation, sinking into a deep and untroubled slumber. After 3 or 4 or sometimes 5 hours, he would become instantly wide awake, completely refreshed and eager to return to his work. Mrs. Edison, in answer to my request that she analyze her husband's ability to rest in a manner so natural and complete, said he was nature's man, by which she meant that he was completely in harmony with nature and with God. In him there were no obsessions, no disorganizations, no conflicts, no mental quirks, no emotional instability. He worked until he needed to sleep. Then he slept soundly and arose and returned to his work. He lived for many years and was in many respects the most creative mind ever to appear on the American continent. He drew his energy from emotional self-mastery and the ability to relax completely. His amazingly harmonious relationship with the universe caused nature to reveal to him its inscrutable secrets. Every great personality I have ever known, and I have known many, who has demonstrated the capacity for prodigious work, has been a person in tune with the infinite. Every such person seems in harmony with nature and in contact with the divine energy. They have not necessarily been pious people, but invariably they have been extraordinarily well organized from an emotional and psychological point of view. It is fear, resentment, the projection of parental faults upon the people when they are children, inner conflicts and obsessions that throw off balance the finely equated nature, thus causing undue expenditure of natural forces. The longer I live, the more I am convinced that neither age nor circumstances needs to deprive us of energy and vitality. We are at last awakening to the close relationship between religion and health. We are beginning to comprehend a basic truth, hitherto neglected, that our physical condition is determined very largely by our emotional condition, and our emotional life is profoundly regulated by our thought life. All through its pages, the Bible talks about vitality and force and life. The supreme overall word of the Bible is life. And life means vitality, to be filled with energy. Jesus stated the key expression, I am come that they might have life, and they might have it more abundantly. John 10:10. This does not rule out pain or suffering or difficulty, but the clear implication that if a person practices the creative and recreative principles of Christianity, he can live with power and energy. So I just wanted to kind of share that real quick. Because if thoughts create things, if the words that come out of our mouth are creating our reality, the emotions we feel, we cannot succumb to fear. You know what I mean? We have to stay above. Like in another page in this book, like he says, like if you feel worried or anxious or fearful, things like that, repeat words like harmony, right? Just keep saying harmony, 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 until you feel it, right? And you'll see that your state changes, your emotions change. Another word, serenity, 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 serenity. We have to keep focused, right, on what we want to create. And you know what I mean? Like right now we're going through something, but the more we are focused and aligned, the quicker we get out. You know what I mean? Well, it's not about getting out quickly or nothing like that, but everything is within us, right? The kingdom of God is within us, right? Um, so whatever we have within us is what we manifest or create without. So with that being said, how do we fix this? We fix ourselves. We focus on ourselves. We focus on our mind. You know what I mean? And it's save yourself and you save the world, right? Liberate yourself and you liberate the world. It's kind of like if everybody dusts the dirt off their own front porch, the whole world would be at peace, right? It's kind of like dust the dirt from your front porch, you know what I mean? So, yeah, this is a badass little book, Norman Vincent Peale. It's a true because um, the book I got, like somebody gave it to somebody and they dedicated it to somebody, and it's from 1976, like this book right here. So it's an older book, right? But it's a powerful book. We gotta stay centered, aligned. Um, and like understanding how the mechanics of the universe, the mechanics of life, how thoughts become things. You understand why the power of the Bible or the power of Christianity, right? How it could help you in many, many ways, right? How faith is a very powerful agent, and to a certain degree, our faith is being tested, right? Or strengthened, and the only way out is through. And the best way is to have ourselves in our best version of ourselves, right? So I just wanted to share that real quick, man. I just wanted to share that real quick. And I hope these words help. I hope you can find some help, some encouragement. You know what I mean? Stay strong. Keep the faith. Like, there's this song Kendrick Lamar and Schoolboy Q. I think it's called Faith, and it says, "Stay blessed." You know what I mean? Stay strong. It's the only way about it here, right? So I hope you're able to stay aligned, stay high in vibration, and maintain that. You know what I mean? Like we all have we feel fear, we feel doubt. I feel fear, I feel doubt. You know what I mean? But it's to try to force the positive thoughts and stick with gratitude, hope, generosity, abundance, health, right? To overpower those thoughts to the point where my mind is just filled with those thoughts of positivity and high vibration that the other ones can't come in anymore, right? It's a process, but I can see how doing it on a daily basis and have been doing it for months, maybe even over a year now, I think, how I've progressed and improved, right? How I've progressed and improved. Like, bro, there's this guy, Brother Yusuf, he says, let's be prepared, but never scared. Prepared, but never scared. Let's keep that faith, you know what I mean? Let's keep that faith strong, keep that faith alive. So saying positive things, right? Positive things, positive words will keep us, right? Gratitude is probably one of the easiest ways to keep our energy high. So I don't want to make this any longer than it already is. I hope everybody has a good one. I hope we could bring more light and love out of this experience, right? To this planet, through this whole human race, right? You know what I mean? Embody the light even higher and higher. I think we're just being prepared for greater times. And let's just stay strong and let's get through it, right? After the chaos comes order, right? The beauty comes after the darkness, right? So let's keep it positive. Let's keep encouraging each other, and let's stay strong and push through this, right? We've gotten out of many more. This too shall pass. So I hope everybody has a good one, and we'll see you.